All right, let's take a look at a few news stories. I'm having trouble understanding these things. Powered footwear for runners. So it hooks into your ankle and makes your ankle stronger, and it's intended for casual runners, not competitive runners. So I it's not clear to me what the point of this is. Now, I know in China, the people who visited there say it's very impressive. It's South Korea. South Korea has exoskeletons for old people and people with mobility problems that will just help you walk, sort of like Iron Man. And they say they're very good. This seems like some step in the same direction, just a little weird. Why a runner would want to use an artificial device to run faster, it's not clear to me. But anyway, they aren't for sale yet. They've developed them, and I think they're probably trying to see if there's actually a market for this. I kind of doubt that there's any market for that. But anyway, so yet another intrusion into NATO. Lithuania is a NATO state, and Belarus, which is a Russian ally, has been sending many balloons there, and they're shooting them down, and they're considering invoking another NATO part of the NATO charter to get other people involved in defending them. Russia has been intruding on NATO states a lot in the last month, and this is part of their somewhat inexplicable attitude about the war in Ukraine. But like I say, the historians I've listened to have said for the last year or so that World War III has already started, and it started in Ukraine and Gaza, and that these wars are going to flare up until the whole world is entangled, and that might well be. Certainly, Russia's hostile activities provoking NATO would increase the probability of that happening. So, OpenAI brought out the Atlas intelligent browser, and Microsoft made their competitor, and some other company made one too. Everybody has these smart browsers that will take commands like ChatGPT and then execute them for it. So one journalist says he asked this thing at night, research these topics, and then present me with the summary of what you found in the morning. So you can give it instructions like that, and it will try to do it. The problem is, it isn't worth much unless you are logged into various accounts. So it can do things like make purchases for you and get into your email and things like that. And if you do leave it logged into your accounts, then prompt injection becomes a problem. And already there's this report here of a specific prompt injection that was developed, which is very simple. You know this bar up here in your browser. Originally, the only thing you could put up there was a URL, like samsclass.info. Then, about 5 years ago, browsers started having a built-in connection to a search engine like Google, and if you typed anything that it didn't recognize as a URL, it would send it to Google and search it. What this thing does is anything it doesn't recognize as a URL, it interprets as commands for the chatbot. So you can just write up here, summarize the current research on quantum computing or something. So all you have to do is make a URL that won't be recognized as a URL. You put a space in here, http:// a space. Now it will not interpret this as URL, but instead as commands for the chatbot. And now you just put commands in here. And so they give it commands like go to my documents folder and delete all the Excel spreadsheets, things like that, and it will just do it. And then you can send this URL to somebody in a text message, and when they click it, that's what will happen. So this is the problem with prompt injection. Data that comes from some untrusted third party is treated just the same as data entered by the user, a command to be followed, and nobody has any solution for this. And when they released Atlas, they included a warning that they haven't really solved the prompt injection problem and that it's risky to use. So it is indeed risky to use, and the attacks have already come out. An interesting article on Politico about how a hacking gang has been blackmailing their politicians. And this, as you may know, is what J. Edgar Hoover did. This was the origin of the FBI. He had a file cabinet full of all the secrets of all the politicians so he could control people. And this is widely considered to be what Epstein did. Epstein seems to have blackmail material on a lot of people, and they certainly do it in Putin. They have a lot of blackmail material in Russia on people. So anyway, what happened is there was a policeman who was a very famous policeman, and when he retired, he went bad, and he used his police influence to get all the police data, and that's how he built his blackmail data, from all the data he got from the police department in an unauthorized way. And started this gang that then could just blackmail everybody in Italy for a long time. And there are persistent rumors that a lot of that is happening right now in America. Anyway, so here's ChatGPT. Another flaw of ChatGPT has been found. He found that they're storing the OAuth tokens unencrypted in a SQLite database that can be read by any user on the account, on the machine. So that's pretty sloppy. And, they need to improve it and fix that. That's a totally unnecessary thing. The prompt injection, they can't really do anything about, but this they could do something about. And so I've been reading a lot about infostealers. Infostealers are the modern common malware. When someone gets the ability to execute code on your machine because you did something like click on a link, then what they typically do is install an infostealer, there's several of these out there, and it's designed to steal all the useful data off your machine quickly. Passwords, cryptocurrency, private keys, API keys, and other things. And there's a couple of people that now claim they have large databases of these, including one website that sells this information, and they claim they have bought it from criminals. So they hang around Telegram chats where people sell information, and they buy the stolen data off people's machines and then use it to help people discover that they've been hacked. So it's interesting, and here's one of the many articles with that kind of data in it. It's a new type of threat intelligence, one I've not heard of before.